Every fan of comic books has a favorite character. When it comes to comics adapted for the big screen, nothing makes fans happier than seeing a character's prominence in the comic universe matched in the film. Studios that get the results right make a lot of money, especially now that there are so many DC and Marvel movies coming out every year. Unfortunately, some superhero characters don't get their due and are virtually unrecognizable from their canon. Fans, on the other hand, aren't having it. So here are the top 5 comic book characters that were poorly represented in the movies. 5. Halle Berry in Catwoman. Since the 1960s, many females have starred as Catwoman. Eartha Kitt and Lee Meriwether played her to perfection in the original Batman TV series. What about Halle Berry though? When Halle Berry accepted her Razzie Award for Worst Actress for her role in Catwoman, she agreed with the general people. It wasn't a horrible performance since Halle Berry didn't care about her role. It was most likely owing to Catwoman's bad portrayal. In the film, almost everything about her altered. In Berry's rendition, her name, Selina Kyle, was altered to Patience Phillips. In the end, she failed to portray the DC character in a number of ways. 4. Venom in Spider-Man 3. After the success of the first 2 films in the trilogy, Spider-Man 3 fell short of expectations. It turned into a failed attempt to offer some characters a competitive advantage. Venom is Spider-Man's biggest nemesis and perhaps one of the most recognizable comic villains. Venom is a combination of journalist Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote. In the comics, Eddie Brock is depicted as a muscular man with a sour disposition, which perfectly matches his characteristics. Brock's on-screen appearance is scarcely representative of the genuine comic book character. His transition into Venom is underdeveloped in the film, rendering it false to the character. 3. Deadpool in X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds played Wolverine in the first half of X-Men Origins, and he did an excellent job portraying the character as described in the comic book. His general manner resembled that of a wisecracking, unpleasant assassin, which was a good start. Then, in the last act, Deadpool's personality and traditional figure were completely transformed into something completely different. Deadpool is the merc with a mouth, as he should be, but he was missing a mouth following his metamorphosis. His lips had almost completely melted shut. They also took Cyclops' abilities. He never possessed the mutant abilities of teleportation and Cyclops' eye beams that he did later in the movie. His well-known characteristics from his comic book characters were not depicted. Talk about deviating from the established canon. 2. Bane and Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin is often regarded as one of the worst comic book films ever made, and many of its critics are justified. Bane is depicted in the comics as a brilliant tactician and a fearsome warrior with a muscular physique. Muscle mass. Bane overpowers Batman in every way, physically, psychologically, and emotionally, with a well-executed plan to achieve his goal, according to the accounts. In the film, however, he appears to be a large, obese man with far too many painted-on veins. It's safe to conclude that the creators either never read any of their comic book counterparts or simply opted to make their own. Both academically and physically, he should have been a perfect fit for Batman. 1. Galactus and Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four. From the low-budget picture in 1994 to the flop Fant 4 stick in 2015, every film adaptation has changed the comic book characters in some way. Even after Marvel sold the film rights to the Fantastic Four, none of the 4 films had managed to get the characters exactly right. All of the timing, acting, plot, and special effects have been messed up. Doctor Doom was transformed into a strange-looking creature with a personality similar to Silver Surfer. He's clearly the villain that comic book fans despise. If they hadn't screwed with Doctor Doom's character, it would have been more intriguing to see what he turned out to be. Galactus is an important character to remember while translating Marvel characters who elicit a range of emotions on screen. His intimidating presence merited more than a mocking picture of a colossal purple-clad behemoth. We're left wondering how that went unnoticed until the end of the movie. If your villain is a cloud in space, you must have noticed something was missing from your movie. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and if you like this video please share, comment, subscribe.